Hey everyone, how you all doing? So, I hit 1600 yesterday, very pleased with myself. So I'm not really playing immediately, and we are going to carry on with the Danish Gambit series. Haven't given up on that. I just thought we'd take a break and do a blind review video, because we've not done one of those in a while, and these are three that I've just picked up off the Chess Bootcamp Club on chess.com. And they're all rated differently, so I think we're starting around 600, we're going up to 1000. But here I'm in focus mode, so I can't even see everyone's ratings. And the first one was a game submitted by the Monty90, and this is a 5-minute blitz game. So what we're going to do is we'll go through the game, e4, e5, okay, knight f3, and I'll maybe suggest what moves I might play in this situation. We'll try and analyse the game. Obviously, this is 5-minute blitz, so we're not expecting everyone to be at their best. And quite frankly, I think people under 1000 really should probably avoid blitz. Okay, so we've got an Italian game. Okay, obviously, Monty's got the black pieces, so we are standing on the black side of the board. The Italian game and the Gioco Piano. This is where black mimics white's bishop move and brings their bishop out to the 4th rank as well. Bishop's very often very happy on the 4th rank. Had an awesome session with Craig yesterday with the advanced group in Chess Bootcamp Live, where we went through piece values and why are pawns worth 1, knight's worth 3, bishop's worth 3, rook's worth 5, queen's worth 9, stuff like that. Really understanding that, but particularly as well the way that piece values are not fixed and they can change throughout the game. So I picked up a load of stuff on there. Okay, so Matty S0793 has played c3, and this is not an uncommon move. So it's preparing, supporting d4, okay? So he wants to play d4, but from d4, pawn goes here. It's going to be defended by pawn, knight, and then queen. And we will have, on this side of the board, also 3 attackers. So it doesn't really make sense. So I mean, black's not going to win anything if this is played and the pawn recaptures. But what black will do is actually give up the central pawn. So black will have lost the e-pawn, and after this one comes off and then c becomes d, white will still have 2 central pawns. Okay, so what do we do about that? To defend against this, I'm not really sure. I mean, could we preempt? No. There we've got 1, 2 attackers and only 1 defender, which is the queen, so that's no good. Let's see what Monty does. Monty plays the quiet d6, and we're expecting... Oh, no. Oh, b4 was played. b4. So clearly the bishop only has 1 safe square to go to. Back to here. This isn't, again, quite a common move in these positions. And now Matty's getting a bit greedy. Matty's playing a4 now, really extending on the queen side and trying to trap the bishop. So the obvious move here is going to be a6 to defend. Okay, and he doesn't push on any further, but now he brings out his queen. Okay, so what he's doing here is he wants to target f7. Clearly, right? With a barrage. There's a barrage here. So, I mean, a simple way to resolve that would be to develop the queen to e7 or f6. This doesn't really work because bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, check, and that's kind of unpleasant. And we lose a pawn. So developing the queen is one idea. You can't push the pawn because bishop takes knight, and if the rook recaptures, queen recaptures, and you're in trouble that way as well. So white's playing aggressively here. Oh yeah, okay, and there's the other one. And the downside of this move is white can now move the d-pawn. I think d4 would be a really good move here, and threaten to capture the knight with that. But then, yeah, if they do, you can't really castle because bishop takes knight anyway, and then suddenly you've exposed your king. So yeah, that's why I was thinking maybe, queen out would be blunt but simple. Okay, and he plays d3, not bad. And now we castle, but here you've got bishop takes knight and opens up the king. However, on the flip side of that, black is giving up his bishop. But that's what we get. Okay, so it's all unfolding exactly as I planned. Black's bishop's actually really damn good right now. Look at these. Right, so material is equal. We've just traded off our first minor pieces. No worries. Yes, we've got to be concerned about this. This pawn here is pinned. But black does have some opportunities here. So let's see what black and white decide to do. Okay, white castles. So one thought here, considering that the dark square bishop is actually off the board for black, could be king h8, rook g8. Line up here, right? That's a thought. Bring the queen in somehow. We shall see. Okay, now the knight pivots back. I'm guessing he's thinking, oh no, my king is exposed. I should probably plug that gap. But maybe there might be attacking ideas as well. No bad thing. However, no, is there any reason not to develop the bishop at this point? Develop the bishop, develop the queen. He's now blocked in the queen temporarily. Okay, and now we have d4. Why didn't white play d4 in one move before? Don't know. Okay. Here, see, if d5 is played, then that really just, white is just cementing himself in there. He's just completely nullified his bishop and his queen. So that cannot be his plan. Takes. I don't think that's bad for black. Okay, so black now ignores that and carries on with his plan. So obviously d5 is terrible. But, okay, if it takes, he can't recapture with the knight because now we've got another defender of that pawn. So takes. Oh no! You fool! You gave up a piece. I just warned you and you did it anyway. And what's more important is key defender. So now I'd be looking at queen straight here and then knight in there, taking advantage of the pinned pawn and going for the threat. What's that? Yes, I know you're connecting your rooks. I know. Yes. But you know, if it was me, knight there. Something like that. No, I mean, not immediately because it can snatch it off, but what's the knight? What is doing? The king's over there. Look how far it is. Yeah, Monty, not sure about that one, mate. Bishop takes, pawn takes, white wins a pawn with check, and then doesn't white win your knight? Takes. Aha! Yeah. That's not bad. Could have been worse. But we're up material. We are up a bishop for 2 pawns, which is not to be sniffed at. Okay. So now attacks the queen, proposes a trade, declines with check. King h8, like we said. Attack the bishop. I'd be tempted to play rook g8 at this point, I think. Forget the bishop. Okay, he's protected the bishop. Pushes a pawn for reasons. 2 attackers on there, only 1 defender. But still rook g8. Okay, so you took it. Forking the queen and the knight. Yeah, it's kind of forcing. Oh, intermediate move, in between move here. But does it work? That's the thing. So yes, we've got a hanging knight, right? Now here, there's no reason you can't take the knight that I can see at all. Also remember this pawn is pinned, right? This move is saying to the queen, why don't you step to here, or maybe here, or maybe here, or maybe there, right? Or maybe not there. No. You know, why don't you step to one of these nice squares here and defend your knight? And then yeah, exactly. And now, But now we do have actually another move. Rook g5 wins the knight anyway, isn't it? Okay, rook f5, yeah. You should have just took it while you had the chance. Yes, c6. Puts a second attacker on the knight again, but now the knight can just move. And gives itself up for a pawn. Oh, discovered check. Like it. That's not bad. Moves. Now the knight is under attack by pawn and queen. Okay, so queen takes knight. Yeah, obviously. Oh. How dangerous is this? Queen g7 is mate. So for me, I'd be looking at this move or this move. See, queen here. No. I was thinking we'd go threatening this, but the bishop's now on the wrong diagonal. Yeah, I think queen g6 now. Yeah. Pins the pawn, pins the g pawn. Oh, that's interesting. Excuse me. So now we're saying, okay, you take that. It's actually mate in two, because the only legal move then would be queen there, rook there is mate. So we have ourselves a bishop sack situation. King takes. Now takes. Oh! Monty, that was good. That was good. Look what he's done. Connected the rooks. Now both rooks are hitting the queen. Boom with check. Oh, beautiful, mate. Beautiful. And we win the queen. Boom. And we hold queen up. And yes, of course you resign in that situation. That was brilliant. That was a really, really nice move, Monty. Thanks for sharing, mate. Well done. And to think, let's go out of focus mode for a second. Monty is rated 658 in Blitz and his opponent is rated 645. Now, if we were playing Guess the ELO, if we were on Gotham's channel, I think that was a very decent game. I'd have said, you know, if you'd have said you were 900 players, I'd totally agree with you on that. Anyway, moving on. Game number 2, the thin White Duke, who I happen to know is just stuck his head over 1,000 rapid for the first time. Well done, Your Grace. Okay, go back, Sarah. Okay, and Dukey is playing with the black pieces, and we have e4, we have e5, and another Italian. Oh, and another gioco piano. And now d3. So this is a quieter move than we saw before, you know. I like this c3 d4 idea, which White didn't do in the last game. Okay, and here this is like a fried liver invitation. So we're inviting the knight to come in here and hassle that, but we can simply resolve that now by just castling, because the bishop is already out. So it's not a fried liver at all. And we just castle, yeah, there you go. And here you do not want to trade knight and bishop for rook and pawn. Not good. Bottom line is, you go through the game then, one piece down. Yeah? I know in terms of nominal value, it's like 3-3 and 5-1, so yes, but especially if you were in Craig's lesson yesterday, more pieces gives you more flexibility later on down the line. Plus, he's invested 2 moves in this knight already. That would be 3 moves, right? Takes, 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 and 2 moves for his bishop, right? So he'd be like 5 or 6 moves down that he's just burned. And then he'd have no development, right? And black would just be in a much better position. So, okay, here's an idea. We see this very often in the London, these 2 bishops facing off, if you're a London player. So in the London, one idea is to drop back, and if bishop takes, you capture with the A pawn, or at least the rook's pawn, and open up that file. You also have the idea of taking there, but then if white castles, that's a situation I like with Freddie gone, you know, and stick a rook on that file. So Dukey trades. Okay, we have traded. And now we kick the knight. That's a respectable kind of move. Knight retreats. Okay, now d6. Okay, d6 is nice. It opens up this bishop. Bishop probably wants to go to g4, pin the knight. This knight might have ideas of coming in there later on. This is a very solid, very normal kind of looking position. Castles. Rook e8. Develop the queen. Don't forget your minor pieces though, mate, as well. Hubert Gustav. Oh! Well, looky here. So black has just done the same thing what white just done. And, but in this case, black recaptures with the rook. And that's interesting. That shows 1000 thinking, you know? I'm not saying it's necessarily better, but a lot of beginners neglect their rooks until they think, rook is only for endgames. We'll just leave it in the corner, until later. But the rook lift could be very powerful. Let's see what happens. White decides to complete development. Very sound. And now we have a pawn break. It's defended twice. It's attacked once only. Takes. Knight takes. No, it's attacked twice, of course. And we trade off in the middle of the board. Okay. So now when these things happen, you have to take stock. Material is equal. Pawn structure. Black has a 4 and a 3. White has a 2 and a 5. Okay. Both have roughly equal control of the center. I'm liking this rook. This rook is an imbalance in the game. So I'd be tempted to want to stick that rook over there. But then you have to watch out for this. So, let's see how white continues. Okay, centralize the rook. Excellent. Oh, drop a pawn. Not so excellent. Try and trap the queen. Now the queen, that's a discovered defense by moving this pawn. The queen now can't take the b pawn, which is fine. Okay, queen comes back. Yeah, it's a thought. Queen could also have come here. She wants to come here to get onto this diagonal, but can't. Okay, but we are now up a pawn as black, hey? Right, so, what are we thinking? I think I want to get this rook into the game. I think rook d8. No, again we have a knight pivoting round. But this isn't bad, actually. Now we've got queen and rook on the 6th rank. So knight comes here. If he wants to trade off, bang. Then maybe queen here, target that. Alrighty. Okay, this pawn's defended by the queen. That's fine. Rook f6 would shoo the queen away. But rook g6 isn't playable yet. Or you could just push ahead with knight g6. Okay, we shoo the queen. Okay, queen dodges out the way and black decides to trade off rooks. Yeah, we're up a pawn. I'm not entirely convinced of the value of trading off at this point in time. Okay, now we have knight here. Problem is now, if knight takes, pawn takes, you've got queen takes. Oh no, we haven't. It's defended. That's okay. But the queen could grab that one, eh? Oh no, no, no. There was a free pawn, but that wasn't it. And you've just blunted your queen. Again. And now we go gobble, gobble pawns. Thank you very much. Oh no, don't trade off your rook when you're a queen down. Okay, and it's all going to end very soon. Provided we don't stalemate our opponent, but this promotion comes with check. And that's mate, isn't it? Because the queens are crisscrossing here, and there, and there, and that's a nice finish. Cool. Okay, motoring on. This one is Elite Jonathan, who is a active Chess Bootcamp live member, and Jonathan starting with d4, and this appears to be a 15 plus 10. Opponent is Dr. Zukar, who responds with knight f6, very playable. Oh, bishop f4. I don't even know what this is. Okay, d6. Tentative. Well, I know what this is. This is the accelerated London system that Jonathan's playing, obviously. Hey. But, okay. So I've actually had this situation myself a few times, playing knight f6 against d4. I have seen this. Okay. So he's going for like a Pietz setup as black. Knight c3. This is like Jabava London style. But don't you push c4 before knight c3? Maybe not. Okay. Fianchettos. The bishop is preparing to castle kingside. Bishop d3. Normal London stuff. Queen d2. Welcome to London. Knight d7. Castles. And we have an opposite side casting situation. So hopefully we're going to see Harry go mental. Rook e8. This bishop's kind of isn't it right now? And black has nothing in front of the 6th rank. Very much playing on the back foot here. Knight again, but again in front of the pawn. We shall see. That's kind of weird. I mean, it adds a second defender to this pawn, and it opens up this diagonal for the bishop, so I can see some sense in it. But it's a very, very back foot kind of move. Okay, and here this takes that square away from both the knight and the bishop. So that's a nice sort of prophylactic move. You can follow it up as well with g4. Pushes a pawn. g4, yes. Pushes another pawn. So now it's kind of, we've had conversations about this. Opposite side castling, both sides are throwing their pawns at the opponent, right? These pawns here are cheap, yeah? These pawns here, let's do a different color. These pawns here are valuable, right? So you want to throw your cheap pawns at your opponent's important pawns. g5, good, nice. This is front foot play. You can really see the difference. Knight comes back here, hitting the bishop. Are we concerned? Yeah, let's save the bishop, okay. Now this pawn is deadlocked. We need a way to open this up. And here's where you don't want your knight in front of the f-pawn, because Jonathan really wants to be pushing f4, f5. Oh, we drop a pawn, okay. Now we can actually regain a pawn. By snatching on there, and with a discovered attack on the bishop. Excellent. Oh, didn't see that one. Nice find, Dr. Zukar. Now, how on earth do we get out of this situation? Well, I'll tell you one way. You could capture that pawn and attack the queen. That will prompt the opponent to capture with rook or... but still... We've got 1, 2, 3 pieces under attack. Oh, wow. How do we get out of this one? This is black's kind of best piece right now. Also, have to remember, if the bishop takes the knight, it's also then forking both rooks, so that really cannot be permitted. What do we do? And for example, if we defend the knight with a queen, bishop takes one knight, we can't even recapture immediately because we've got 2 pieces under attack. So how do we get out of this only going down 1 minor piece? That is the question. You can't defend the knight with the rook because we sacrifice a bishop. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces on prise. Jonathan better have something clever up his sleeve. Okay, yes, we're threatening the knight, but why can't he just take there with the pawn? The knight's defended then, we can't snatch the knight with Okay, he's taken with that pawn. We have no light squared bishop. The queen can't give check. Sacks the rook. Sacks the exchange. Oh! Captures the knight of... What? Sacks the rook. Another... Well, this is a desperado capture, eh? Well, I don't know what's going to happen here. Honestly, guys, I'm... Okay, we're 6 points down now. And we still have 2 pieces on prise. Another desperado capturing another pawn on the way out. Queen takes. Here, I mean, still, bishop takes rook is an option, because now the rook can just run away. Now the rook runs away. Should have taken the rook and then captured again on the next move. Jonathan is in a world of pain. Okay, 9 points down now. Down a rook and 2 minor pieces for like a pawn. You can't get out of this alive. Oh, that's interesting. So sacking... No, it's not even a sack, really, because if we get the bishop... Black actually wins a rook, so we can't capture. Bishop back to there. This is not... Okay. That was just a bit point... Oh, no, but it forces an exchange of queens. Oh, hot damn. Oh, okay, grab a knight. Slight compensation. Right, now we are down a rook. And he's got 2 minutes 23 on the clock. Hits the rook. Okay, double up the rooks. Nice, like that. But now we have rook takes g6 check, yes. King moves. Now we can grab... Well, there's a... Oh, no. Bishop was defending the pawn, so we're coming after the bishop. Okay, get it. There. Now we could have grabbed the pawn, but check. Grab that pawn. Okay. Tell me you're not going to cling on to this game, Jonathan. I'm not sure my little heart can take it. Check, move, check, move, check, move, check. It's not really a fork. Move. Wow. Check, move. Check, move. Wow. Now the king's on the back rank. Dr. Zukar, have you got something clever up your sleeve? Because that just looks like you just hung your rook with 9 minutes 33 on the clock and your opponent on his arse. Oh no, of course it's discovered check, of course, yes. Silly me. Trades, grabs a pawn, defends. Okay, we're a rook down for 2 pawns and we're trading off. However, now we find ourselves in a king and rook against king and 2 pawns, ending with 20 seconds on the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, place your bets. Now, I don't know my endgames well enough to know whether this should be a win or a draw, but I'm keen to find out. Okay. Right, rook drops behind the pawns. Now that pawn's making a dash for it. Now king b6, yes. Now, okay, and the king can now guide the pawn through all the way and push, yes. Yes. Now the rook has to sack itself off. But the rook, what the rook needs to do is wait till the pawn goes there and then trade off, and then king takes, and then king takes, and it's a draw. But Black, what are you doing? Now b7, surely. Or king here. And the king has to go there to save the rook, yeah? King here. No. Yeah. Okay, rook goes back. That's one way. No, this forces a draw now. Takes, and it's a draw. I think Jonathan might have had a stab at winning that, but good golly gosh. Honestly, Black will be kicking himself after that. Jonathan, good save, mate. Well done to get yourself into such a monkey's breakfast and manage to scrape a draw with 23 seconds on the clock. Kudos, but Dr. Zukar, damn, that's going to sting. But seriously, I don't know if there was a win here. So let's come out of focus mode, and I'm going to do a review because I think Jonathan might have even had a stab at that. No, it's saying dead drawn. Dead drawn. 82% accuracy. And that's the best move. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, complete draw from that point. But honestly, black, 14 up at some point. 15 up. And then threw it away and flushed it down the bog. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm glad I wasn't that player. But hey ho, all good entertainment. Thank you everybody, as usual, for sharing your games. Hope you've picked up one or two things from those. Thanks everyone else for watching. See you later.